It's not failure that stops us, it's hesitation. Doubt whispers quietly, stealing potential before it begins. But belief has built more empires than perfection ever could. You don't need to feel ready, just willing to start. Greatness begins with one bold, imperfect step. Doubt is a master of disguise. It slips into your thoughts dressed as caution, wisdom, and realism. It convinces you that waiting a little longer, preparing a little more, or thinking it through just one more time will make the difference. But while you're hesitating, the opportunity moves forward without you. You don't need a perfect strategy, you need movement. Every dream that's ever been realized began when someone dared to act, despite the storm of self-doubt. Because when you take that first step, you stop doubt from dictating your future. You become the author again. Failure is not the end. It refines, it teaches, it molds. But doubt does none of those things. Doubt simply delays. It keeps you frozen in your thoughts while the world moves forward around you. Many people are not defeated by their mistakes, but by the fact that they never allowed themselves to try. Regret doesn't come from falling. It comes from standing still. One brave decision today can free you from 1,000 doubts tomorrow. And what once felt impossible becomes a starting line instead of a finish line you'll never cross. You weren't born with confidence. You build it, one decision at a time. Every step forward in the face of uncertainty lays the foundation for belief. The most successful people you admire didn't wait to feel certain before they began. They acted before the plan was perfect. They moved before the fear was gone. Confidence isn't the fuel, it's the reward. You don't need to be fearless to start. You need to be willing to keep going, even with your heart pounding and your knees shaking. That's how belief becomes identity. Doubt is not a lack of talent. It's not a sign that you're not meant for more. It's simply a lack of evidence. Evidence that only comes after you've started. You can't think your way into belief. You have to earn it through motion. Every time you act despite your doubt, you prove it wrong. You remind yourself that fear doesn't have the final say. And in that moment, you shift from being a prisoner of hesitation to the leader of your next chapter. Don't wait to feel ready. Create readiness through action. So many dreams never see daylight, not because they were unworthy, but because someone chose safety over growth. We don't fail because we fall. We fail when we refuse to rise. Fear pretends to protect you, but it often paralyzes you instead. Your dream doesn't require perfection. It requires pursuit. Let others talk while you move. Let them hesitate while you build. Because when belief drives your actions, even your smallest step forward has more power than 1,000 intentions left unfulfilled. Think about everything you've already survived. All the storms, the setbacks, the seasons of silence. If doubt were stronger than you wouldn't be standing right now. So why let it win today? Doubt only has power when you give it your voice. But the moment you move, even slightly, you reclaim that power. You remind yourself that strength isn't the absence of fear. It's the choice to act anyway. And that choice? It's available to you right now. Belief is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows through resistance. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you show up when it would be easier to quit, you're building belief. You don't need a crowd cheering you on. You need one quiet moment of conviction that says, "I'm not stopping here." Doubt will try to return, but it will find less room in a mind trained for growth. Build belief by acting before you feel completely confident. That's where real transformation lives. The most dangerous time is not when you fail, it's when you stop trying. When you let your dream sit idle, doubt grows roots. But action breaks those roots apart. You don't need to take a giant leap today. You just need to take a step. One forward movement, one decision, 1 hour of focused effort can shift everything. Momentum is powerful, and it doesn't come from overthinking. It comes from doing. Start where you are. with what you have. Because what you build in motion will be stronger than anything imagined in hesitation. Your idea, your vision, your voice, it matters. And someone, somewhere, is waiting for what you have to offer. But they'll never see it if you keep hiding behind your doubt. You don't need a massive platform to create massive impact. What you need is courage. Courage to act. Courage to finish. Courage to begin again when it doesn't go as planned. Stop waiting for the world to believe in you. Start building a body of work that forces it to. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. Your dream won't wait for everything to align. It won't wait for the applause, the funding, the confidence to show up first. It's waiting on one thing: your action. You can plan forever and still not be ready. Or you can move today and grow stronger along the way, because movement multiplies belief, and belief is the bridge between doubt and destiny. Doubt often sounds rational. It whispers, "Be careful, think it through," or "Now isn't the right time." But caution without action becomes paralysis. There's a difference between being wise and being stuck. Eventually, every decision comes down to this: will you move despite the unknown, or will you stay still and hope clarity magically arrives? Because the truth is, clarity follows action, not the other way around. And if you're waiting for certainty, you may be waiting forever. The most important doors in life are opened by uncertain hands. Let yours be one of them. Comparison is doubt's favorite ally. It convinces you that your progress isn't enough. Your timing is too late. Your journey is too slow. But your path was never meant to look like anyone else's. You are not in competition with their milestones. You're here to live your own timeline. When you focus on alignment instead of applause, peace replaces pressure. The only race worth running is the one that leads you back to your own values. Your journey is sacred, even if it doesn't look like someone else's success story. Don't let their story mute your own. History doesn't remember the hesitant. It remembers the bold. It honors those who moved when no one believed, who acted when the path was unclear, who showed up when quitting felt easier. Every legacy begins with a decision to rise above doubt, not because the road was easy, but because the mission was worth it. You are capable of that same choice. The world needs fewer perfectionists and more courageous doers. What if the legacy you dream about only exists on the other side of one terrifying, beautiful, powerful act of belief? You may not realize it, but someone is watching you. Not in judgment, but in hope. Someone who's unsure of themselves is waiting to see if you'll move. And when you do, they'll begin to believe that maybe they can too. That's the beauty of courage. It multiplies. Your step forward becomes someone else's permission slip. You're not just walking for yourself, you're creating ripples. And those ripples might one day turn into waves that change someone else's life. So don't underestimate the impact of your belief. It might be the reason someone else finally starts. Progress isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like writing one more page, showing up to practice again, or choosing discipline instead of distraction. But these small choices, repeated daily, become unstoppable. You don't need giant leaps, you need consistency. Because consistency turns belief into identity. It's not about how loud your success is today, it's about how deeply your actions align with who you're becoming. And every small act of courage builds the foundation for something extraordinary. So keep showing up, quietly, boldly, faithfully.